the Mayor Nard Lundy. Just waltz right over to the El Dorado Saloon and enter yourself into a fortune. Remember to vote. It's Nard Lundy's town. Let's keep it that way. Welcome to Boulder, sir.
Thank you, son.
Here you are. Compliments of the mayor.
Now, why should the mayor give me free poker chips?
Election time's coming in 2 weeks. Just the mayor's way of making sure you remember his name come voting time.
Vote? I can't vote. I don't even live here. I just came here to see my daughter and her husband.
Good. You've got family here that's just the same as resident. Now, don't forget to vote. It's Nard Lundy.
Like I always figured, Jeff Rose is full of pickle juice.
I'm Captain Orrin Hayes, late of the Texas Rangers. That man you just shot full of holes happens to be my son-in-law. You tell me where I can find his newspaper office?
Yeah, around the corner there to the right.
Papa!
Captain Hayes!
Sweetheart.
What are you doing so far from Texas?
Why didn't you let us know you were coming?
Oh, I thought I'd surprise you. I haven't seen you since you were married. I've been retired from the Rangers now for some years.
And you got lonesome.
Well, a man just can't quit. Can't sit around and listen to your arteries harden. I want some action, travel. Help stir up the blood.
Well, we're real happy to see you. And you stay as long as you please.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Say, looks like you've got quite a business going here. But, tell me something, son. What are those wanted posters on you around town?
Oh, those aren't wanted posters, Papa. Those are campaign posters. Jeff is a candidate for mayor.
Well, the way they're shooting his picture full of holes, I'd say you're not wanted.
Mayor Lundy's a very clever opponent, Captain. Owns most of this town and runs it from his El Dorado Saloon.
Well, Charlie, how are you? Sheila, my dear. Lovely as always. Well, how are you?
Fellow coming on the stage a couple of minutes ago, Mayor. Old fellow. Says he used to be with the Texas Rangers. And Jeff Rose is his son-in-law.
Well, if he's old, he shouldn't worry you, Clyde. And if he doesn't live here, he can't vote for Jeff, so he doesn't worry me.
Nard, have you seen this new edition of the Sentinel? He's got your whole record in there. Mine, too. Yours, too, Clyde. All the facts and figures, the dates, all the graphs, the payoffs, all the illegal taxes. But he says I ain't a proper judge. He says I'm guilty of malfeasance. Whatever that is.
It means you are a walking whiskey vat, and you bought your Justice of the Peace office years ago from Charlie Reeves.
But I've still got my office.
Only because I keep you there, don't forget that, Your Honor. Now, don't you just shut up, Amos. You know, a smart man who's handy with words. He's a tough opponent. But when he starts to smear you with the truth, he is deadly.
If this paper ever gets to the governor's office.
Get the boys all together. Round up every copy of this that's in circulation. Buy them, steal them, take them, but get them.
Telling you all along, Nard. You give that newspaper fellow too much rope. Well, you always got things done right.
Oh, no, Clyde. I'm not the sort of man to use force when gentle persuasion will serve. Why don't you get your deputies together and pay yourself a little call on Mr. Rose? Hmm? You sure raked this Lundy over the coals. Well, if it's a battle he wants, let's give it to him. I'll pitch in and help. Do me good. Little action is what I need.
You here on law business, Sheriff?
No, we're just a bunch of plain citizens. We come to tell you that we don't hold with your brand of mudslinging, name-calling politics. And we don't want you printing nothing more. Nothing.
Now, wait a minute, Sheriff.
You can't interfere with the freedom of the press.
You keep out of this, you old Moosehorn.
Moosehorn? Listen, young fella. On your best day, you couldn't curry mules in my outfit. All right, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Jeff. Jeff, you've got to give up. Lundy's too powerful. He's too dangerous. Maybe next time he'll order Sheriff Barnes to use his gun.
That's exactly why he's got to be fought and beaten.
Jeff, the best thing for you to do is strap on your own gun, fight him in his way.
Captain Hayes, I know gunplay was necessary in the days when you were with the Texas Rangers. But if we're ever going to have progress in the West, we've got to learn to fight our battles with ideas and words.
Son, looks like you kind of run out of words.
Well, maybe Hannah's right. Maybe I should give up. You know, a lot of people were glad to see me run against Lundy, but none of them would lift a finger to help.
I know a handful of men. Just 3. Who could straighten out Lundy and his gang in a hurry.
Who's that, Captain?
Fastest guns in the West. Finest riders. Top scouts. Crack men who served with me on the River Brazos. Who brought law and order to the Lone Star State. The pride of the Texas Rangers. First off, I'll send to Abilene for Nash Crawford. His gun was quicker than the blink of a cougar. Faster than the flick of a prairie dog's tail.
Go for your gun, mister, and you'll be dead before it clears leather.
Gosh, Grandpa, is that exactly the way you had to shoot out with Sam Bass?
Well, of course, the Sloan one all cluttered up with gewgaws and dinguses like this. Now, you fellas clean this up for you, Marcy.
And this is the exact kind of gun you carried in the Texas Rangers, isn't it, Grandpa?
Well, it's a mite smaller than the Colt 45, more like a hideout gun.
What's a hideout gun?
Well, come on over here now, tell you about it. Stick yourself down there. Now, I recall I was wintering in the bend on the San Saba River east of Mount Oddville, see? The captain sent me on a scout after a fellow who was wanted for murder and horse thieving. Well, boys, that's when I got my first taste of a hideout gun. You see?
What was that crash I heard in here a minute ago?
Oh, my fault, Ellie. Had a little accident with a lamp.
I suppose the Texas Rangers just won another battle against overwhelming odds? Run along, boys. It's time for your nap.
Oh, Mom, Grandpa was just going to tell us about...
Keep. Do like your ma says.
Pa, I know you don't mean any harm, but you've got to stop filling the boys' heads full of those blood-curdling fairy tales about fighting horse thieves, Indians.
Fairy tales? Boy, them things really happen. Fact is, I ain't even told the kids the bloodiest ones yet.
Next, I'll send to Kansas City for Jason Fitch. Second best man with a gun and the finest scout in the Rangers. He has eyes like a hawk in the daytime, eyes like an owl at night.
Captain, don't ride after them 2 fellers. I know they're a mile off, but I can tell they're Comanches. That big one's a chief. I can tell by the mark on his forehead. I see the tip of a feather sticking up behind a boulder way off there to the south. That's the feather of a scissor-tailed flycatcher. There's another Comanche beneath it. An ambush, them Redskins bushwhackers.
Oh, you must have been a marvelous scout, Mr. Fitch, to recognize all those terrible Indians so far away.
Takes eyes like an eagle, Miss Fletcher.
I'm Mrs. Murphy.
Oh, yes. You're Mrs. Murphy, not Mrs. Fletcher. Say, you're a pretty little thing.
Mr. Fitch, you're really much too bold at times.
Once had a shootout with 3 dudes over a woman like you.
Mr. Fitch!
Real catalog woman she was. Pretty little thing. Just like you.
Mr. Fitch!
Mr. Fitch! Mr. Fitch!
Find your own woman, boy.
This telegram just came for you.
Somebody's dead.
It don't have a black border.
Let's see it. You tell me what that says, Miss Murphy. I need my strong glasses for reading.
It says Brazos.
Brazos. That's the old code word of our company. It means trouble. Strap on your guns and hit the trail. What else does it say?
It's just an address. Sully's Mine on Feather Wash, south of Boulder, Nevada. Signed Captain Orrin Hayes.
Captain Orrin Hayes. Our old outfit's back in action. I gotta light out for Nevada fast.
We'll help you get packed, Mr. Fitch.
How can I help Captain Hayes?
Don't you feel up to it?
Sure, I feel up to it, and over and way past it. Nevada's a long way from Kansas City. I haven't got no horse, or artillery, no money to make a trip if I did. Well, maybe when I don't show up, the captain will think I'm dead. Maybe I ought to be. Good night.
Good morning, it's your house.
Boy just delivered this telegram for you.
Who in tarnation be sending me a telegram?
What's it say, Pa?
Brazos.
That's all? Brazos?
No, there's an address here, too. Sully's Mine on Feather Wash, south of Boulder, Nevada. And it's signed Captain Orrin Hayes, my old captain from the Texas Rangers, Ellie. He needs me. He's calling me to ride again.
You mean it's trouble? Shooting and fighting?
Brazos. It's the old code word. He always used to call us together. Well, it's a kind of reunion.
Pa, it's been years since you've heard from Captain Hayes, and...
Every man in our outfit come a-running when he hears that word, Brazos.
But your outfit's all broken up. It's spread over the whole country. I'm tired.
No ranger retires perpendicular.
Well, it's an awful long way to Nevada.
Yeah, well, it was a far piece down at the Oasis, past Fort Clark, and up the Devil's River, and on to Beaver Lake, to hit the Kickapoo. But we made it.
Well, how are you going to eat and sleep along the way? What were you going to do for money?
Oh, I've saved a little.
From what?
From not spending it.
Well, if your mind's made up, then I guess I can only kiss you goodbye and wish you good luck.
Yes, sir. I'll just throw this gear on my horse.
Pa,
What?
you don't own a horse.
Last but not least, I'll send for Gentleman George Agnew. We call him gentleman because of his spotless character, his courtly manners, his fit and polished appearance.
Now, I'm telling you, Gentleman George, you stay out of this saloon for good.
Doggone, Mac, I'm gonna miss going in that saloon of yours. You know, when I get to liking a man, I freeze to him.
Well, I'm freezing you out. Now, there's your cards. And don't try using that slippery deck again. Next place, you're liable to wind up full of holes.
Yeah, so they caught you pulling a little flim-flam and jiggery-pokery with the cards again, eh, George?
Sheriff, I just filled out an inside straight, fair and square. I could have used this ace, or this deuce, but the deuces wasn't wild.
No, Mac didn't throw you out just for the exercise.
That joke was on Mac. All I did was reach in my pistol pocket for my harmonica. Here, I'll play you a little piece.
George, I think you best move on out of range. Now, why don't you go on home and get some sleep?
I ain't got no room, Frank. I've been doing all my sleeping in Mac's saloon in yonder.
Oh, I need a bed. I could toss you in jail.
Jail? What for?
For most anything. For inciting a riot. For littering up the streets. Now, come on.
I don't want to put you to all that bother, Frank. I'll just find myself another saloon.
George, you have used up every saloon in the whole Oklahoma territory.
Well, there must be somebody building a new one around here somewhere.
George? George Agnew?
You!
I got a telegram for you, George.
Who in the world would be sending me a telegram? Let's see this thing.
Yeehaw! Brazos!
What's that mean? I'm wanted.
Well, now, that don't surprise me none. Who by?
The Texas Rangers. My old captain wants me to come up to Nevada. You know, I gotta get me a broomtail fiddle-footer and ride.
George! You dang old fool! Come back here!
Yeehaw! Brazos! Hello! Yeehaw! Brazos! Yeehaw! Hello! Yeehaw!
Why, you long-legged, you-necked broomtail? The first time I ever seen one jackass riding another.
Now, who you calling a jackass? You old moss-back, bull-winded, kettle-bellied
George!
Nash!
Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you again. You answered the captain's call?
Yep. Figured he had real need of good fighting men. But I don't know, seeing as how he called on you.
Why, you old coot. Who got them 2 cattle rustlers down in Bandera County that time?
I did.
I winged them for you.
George, you're looking a little poorly. Kind of scummy and gone to grass belly.
You look like you wintered too good yourself. And who upped you up on that horse? You must be 95 if you're a day.
Well, I reckon my gun ain't aged none.
I reckon that's what counts, Sergeant.
Then let's ride.
Yeah, Brazos! Jason, George Agnew, you're a sight for sore eyes.
Well, your eyes must be mighty sore, Jace. I'm Nash Crawford.
Oh, sure. I know you anywhere, Nash. Red hair, straight as a ramrod, skinny waist like a girl's.
Well, by jingles, the captain sure called up the best men of the old outfit.
And the captain don't like to be kept waiting, so let's move out. All you Texas Rangers, wherever you may be, I'll tell you of some trouble that happened once to me. Our captain, he informed us one dark and stormy night, before you reach the river, boys, you'll have yourself a fight. The weather it was fearful. The rain came down like stones. The wind was even smoking, but it chilled our willies. I saw the Indians coming. I heard them give their yell. My feeling at that minute, no mother's son can tell.
I hate to say this, sir. I know they were your best men, but I'm worried.
What do you mean, son?
They're a little old, aren't they?
Yes, I guess they are. But then maybe so am I. My boy, a man never really sees himself till he looks at the friends he once knew.
What are we going to do, Captain?
Well, I certainly am not going to tell them how I feel. Sure, they're old. They haven't got much left. But they prove they're still Rangers by answering my call. All they need is something that needs them. Something that needs doing. I know that feeling, too.
I just wish I hadn't let you get into this.
Well, you stop fretting, Jeff. We're going to get you elected mayor. All right. Sergeant, call assembly.
You heard the captain fall in. Assemble, you jug-eared sprinkle-horn.
I'm assembled.
Well, assemble lengthwise. Assemble neat and proper, Captain.
All right, men. Now, you know why I've called you all together.
Yeah, to roust out some tin-horn mayor and his four-flushing gang. I said he was right in and clean him out tonight, Captain.
Hold it, Nash. Hold it. See, Lundy has the support of a corrupt judge, gun-happy sheriff, plus all his deputies.
Well, if there ain't more than 20 of them, Captain, I'll ride in and get them myself.
Hold it. Hold it, man. This comes to a showdown. It could be, quite a fight. We haven't been together in some time. Maybe we ought to sharpen up for a couple of days. You know, some of us might be just a little rusty.
I ain't rusty, Captain. Practice my draw most every day. I've been training a couple of young fellas down in Abilene.
I guess you ain't heard, Captain. I've been making a name for myself in that Oklahoma territory from one end to the other.
You figure wearing these specs is slowing me down? Ain't so. Just holding me up sharper in other ways. I can smell what a man's fixing to do. I can hear the sneeze of a flea.
You can.
All right, man, that's good. But we're wasting time. Election is only a week off. Jeff, you ride in town tonight? Tell Lundy he's got until tomorrow morning to clear out, along with his crooked friends. And
If you don't take the warning, Captain Hayes and his Rangers are going to ride in at dawn ready for a showdown.
Oh, I am disappointed in you, Jeff. I thought you were strongly against violence and gunplay.
I don't think there'll be any. I figure you'll go.
Texas Rangers? They're a mean bunch. Maybe I ought to injunct the legal paper against them. Whereas the people of this here town declare that all troublemakers looking to make...
Why don't you save that for your next Supreme Court decision? Go finish your beer, will you?
Well, thank you.
said that old fellow wouldn't worry you none when he rode into town.
Just a bluff. Jeff Rose would never sanction open warfare.
You gonna do nothing about it? Just gonna sit there and let them Rangers ride in free?
Ex-Rangers, Clyde. They got no authority here. Sure. Let them ride in free, but if any of them start making any trouble, you have got a sworn duty to put down any attempted gunplay on the streets of our fair town, Sheriff.
Now you're talking, Nard. Or you'll shoot out on Main Street. Texas Rangers, sir. Did you receive my ultimatum? Captain, I just couldn't believe that you were serious. I have the greatest admiration for the reputation of the Rangers, but I do believe that you have no true military authority, and certainly not here in the state of Nevada.
That's a legal ruling. Section 4, Article 2. Whereas all men known by the...
All right, Judge. We are here as a private company of vigilantes, Mr. Mayor, to preserve law and order and to ensure an honest election.
How would you propose to do that, sir?
By seeing you and your associates out of this town now, by force if necessary. Captain, as you see, we are unarmed. I'll give you 1 minute to get armed.
Captain. We are a peaceable town of law and order. We do not want any bloodshed on our streets. Now, why can't we settle this obvious electioneering stunt in a sporting manner, eh? Why don't we have a shooting contest, the losers to leave town? Now, you select your best marksman and fastest draw. Now, when I shout draw, go for your gun. Ready? Well, Captain,
You want a fair draw? I figured it's going to count first.
Let me have it. I can outdraw you the best day you ever lived, Sheriff.
My son-in-law, you idiot. Ooh.
Captain, I'm afraid that you and your men have been the victims of some poor advice. Boulder is a friendly and peaceful town. Now, if you'll all just step inside to the Eldorado, I'll stand drinks all around.
That makes sense to me. Mount up. Retreat and reform.
Well, Jeff, it's just like you always said, the West has changed. Things aren't what they used to be. They certainly aren't.
This town has ever had the nerve to do.
Thank you, madam.
Not Madam Smith. Miss Cassie McGuire.
Cassie McGuire, the famous singer and dancer? Why, I once paid $2 in Tombstone to see you perform.
Doggone, I saw you in a saloon in Tulsa. They couldn't get another person in that place that wanted to take a good look at you.
How nice it is to run into old friends like this. Can I offer you all a drink?
No, I don't think we should. Captain, you going to turn down another drink?
Well, Mayor Lundy doesn't approve of any business coming into my place anyway.
Well, in that case, Miss McGuire, we accept your offer with pleasure.
Good.
Singer, dancer, and you own a saloon? Say, you're You're a pretty little thing.
Oh.
I never had the honor of serving a whole company of rangers before.
I ain't been in the Rangers for quite a spell, Cassie. Just that plain to see when I drawed down the sheriff out there.
Well, it was a day when you were the fastest gun in the West, Nash.
Much obliged, Captain. But I reckon today I'm just I guess I'm just the biggest windbag. You know, I didn't even get a shot off.
You ain't alone, Sergeant. Only thing I've shot off in the past few years is my big mouth.
Now, come on, I don't want any of that kind of talk around here. I didn't invite you in here to hold a wake. I just wanted you to know that there's some folks in this town who are mighty proud of what you all tried to do.
It's a dirty shame when a whelp like Lundy puts a squeeze on a pretty little thing like you.
I've been hanging on hoping Jeff would beat him in the election next week. And I'm going to keep hanging on till Lundy is plumb wore out, or until he shoots me. And even then, they're going to have to pound me into Boot Hill like a steak, because I'm just too stubborn to lie down.
She'd have been some Texas Ranger.
Tetchy's a tease snake. That's a lot of mad Irish on the prod.
You know, when a little petticoat like that keeps losing and fighting back, what's ailing us?
You know, Jason's right. We only lost the first skirmish. No fella in the wrong can stand up against a fella that's in the right and keeps on a-coming.
Oh, man. First of all, I want to tell you that I'm grateful for the way you responded to my call quickly and loyally, no questions asked. I appreciate that. But I want to apologize for doing it. You see, I had forgotten that you'd retired honorably from the Rangers to set up new lives for yourself because you were tired of guns and fighting.
No, that ain't so, Captain. We just used up all the bad engines and the outlaws in Texas.
We just cleaned ourselves out of business.
We didn't retire. We just ran out of something to do.
No, there was a time when we could have set this town on its ears. But we've got to face it. We're over the hill now. Me? Well, I'm just a witless old blockhead to bring you all the way out here on a wild goose chase.
Captain, you all done speech making?
Yes, I'm all done that. Except anybody wants any help or money to get home.
I ain't going home. Not yet. Not till I get done what I came here to do. I ain't never crawled home with the tail between my legs in my life. And I'm too old to take on any new bad habits like that now.
Hold it, Nash.
Now, Captain Luke, just set yourself down and let me lose jaw a spell, huh?
Just a minute. You can't pull rank on me. You're only a first sergeant.
I'm pulling age on you. Age. That's all we got working for us now. Ain't that what you just said?
Yeah.
You know, I got laughed at out there today. It's a feeling I ain't never had before. And I tell you, don't sit easy with me.
Well, you almost outdrawed him, Nash.
Almost gets a man a quick funeral. You got to go along with what the captain said. Time's been tailing us, and it overtook us. All right, so we are a mite older. A man ain't spook till he's dead.
Sometimes a man's dead when he ain't no use anymore.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Now, look, we got plenty of use left in us. I've been totaling up these years, and it figures there's something around 275 years of fighting savvy in this outfit, put all together in a lump. We can whip this Lundy and his gang if we just go at it right, use the right artillery.
What do we use?
What do we use? We use our wits.
Well, maybe they've gone rusty, too. Or we wouldn't have come running up here like a bunch of young buckos in the first place.
It ain't so. We all come here a-running because we was needed. We packed our Bowie knives and our saddlebags and our Colts. There's one thing we didn't pack in there. That's our wits.
All right, Nash, but the election is only a week off. What have you got in mind?
Well, now, Captain, You recall how we rounded up them tin-horn gamblers in Chimney Butte?
Yeah.
And how we bamboozled that big gang of Comanchero horse thieves on the border?
Yeah. Trickery and deception. The old theory. Divide and conquer.
That's it. Get inside the enemy camp, gnaw away at his vitals without him knowing it.
You know, this might work. It just might work here.
I get an idea. It's horse high, bull strong, and hog tight.
Well, I got even with you. I just said 30 days or $30. Hey, ain't that one of the old mossbacks that rode into town today?
That's the one I blew the hat off of.
What's he up to? Flip-flopping around like a wall-eyed mule in a windstorm.
He'll probably come back to even up the score. Couldn't find his gun in the daylight. I'll go down to the jail. You go across there and prod him with some of your legal talk.
Well, now, hold on, Clyde. You're the lawman.
Ain't got nothing against you. Now go on.
But... Howdy. You one of those old rangers that rode in town today?
Well, I reckon I can't call that hand.
You looking for somebody?
Now, nobody in particular.
Well, it appeared to me that you were tailing the sheriff.
You look like one of the honest men around here. I don't suppose you got any love for the crooked law in this town, huh?
Well, maybe.
Well, I'm tailing the sheriff right enough. But I ain't such a good shot no more. I gotta get just the right distance and the right light and all. But sooner or later, I'll kill him.
Mister, you happen to be talking to Judge Amos Polk, duly constituted to order all felonious and unruly gunslingers strung up.
Judge Polk? Well, now I'm glad it's you. You're a friend of Mayor Lundy's, ain't you?
Well, we, closely associated, yeah.
Well, I've been hired by the mayor to do this job.
Why, that's impossible.
Oh, the mayor's a smart politician. He knows the sheriff ain't helping his election chances any. With the lawman and his gunnies gone, the mayor's record will look a whole lot cleaner. And he can pick himself a nice, shiny new sheriff.
But Lundy wouldn't have... But why you?
Well, I just blew in and now be blowing right out. Lundy won't have me around and he won't owe me nothing. Except the nice bundle I already got in my pocket here.
It's a lie. Lundy wouldn't do it. That old buzzard's loose between the ears.
Maybe the old man's better than you think he is, Clyde. Maybe he just let you outdraw him today to get you off guard and make you get careless.
Well, I guess they're on their way to State Lundy.
You started something.
Got him nibbling at the bait real good.
No, Clyde, no. I do not want you gunning down an old man like that.
But he's out to get me. He told Amos.
That's right. Oh, what are you so worried about? You already proved you could outdraw him.
He's tailing me.
You've been tailed before.
No, let me get him. I'll make it real easy for him. Get real close. Let him reach first.
No. Besides, he is no competition for you, Clyde. Anyway, the town has already laughed him out. Now, Clyde, they're on your side now, but if you kill him, they're going to turn against you. You should give him a nasty taste in the mouth right before election.
You're willing to let him get me?
Well, Clyde, let me put it to you this way. If you get him, I'm going to have to take that little star away from you and get me a more peace-loving sheriff.
You gonna raise or call, Steele?
Pondering. I already got my last month's wages and half the next.
The cards have never been so good to me.
You're too many for me, fella.
Streak like that ain't natural. I just call. Pair of aces, king high.
I got a pair of aces with a little 4 high.
I guess you fellas got the bulge on me. Shouldn't have win lose, don't you, Dobie, little dinky pot?
Wait a minute. You opened as I recall.
Yeah, that's right, Dobie. You got your openers.
What's the difference? I told you had me beat.
It's, real plain. Why you didn't want to show openers. You had 3 aces.
I didn't know where I got them.
Easy. You did the shuffling and dealing.
Yeah, and I cut. I don't want to hold up a good poker game over some picky little squabbles over the rules. But 7 aces in one deck, whew, that's a lot of aces.
Maybe it's a bad deck.
Been mighty good to you. Till now.
You're saying I rigged this deck, Steele?
I'm saying it.
Well, we got 1 deputy on the ground and 3 in the air.
Very clever, George. I'm just glad they didn't catch you making hanky-panky with the cards.
Oh, they were easy marks. I could have put 10 aces in that deck, but I just didn't want to show off my talent. I hope all this flim-flam works. But Lundy knows we're still hanging around this town.
He can't see us doing anything that'll jeopardize his security.
He knows Nash is still trading in that sheriff.
That don't bother him none. Can't his hide. He's already seen a sample of my shooting.
Well, maybe he's figuring that we're thinking on something.
Yeah, thinking there's one thing that's bound to give the mayor fits. He can't tax it, he can't stop it, and he can't even tell when anybody's doing it.
Hey, this is going to work out just fine. And we still got 3 more days for election.
You know, it's about time for me to go take another hard twist in the sheriff's tail. Reckon he sees me following him in his sleep now. That is, if he's doing any sleeping.
What about Jason? Is he seeing to his assignment?
Oh, yeah, right about now. I figure he ought to be setting old Judge Polk's shirt tail on fire.
You're a mighty generous man, Jason.
Well, it ain't often a man gets the honor and the privilege of drinking with a famous judge, appointed by the governor himself.
Well, I got a secret for you, Jason. I wasn't appointed by the governor. I paid $10 for my office, 2 buffalo skins, and a case of whiskey.
No. Say, that's a good one. Why didn't you buy the mayor job? What did you want to be a judge for?
Well, I wanted to be where I could do people the most good. And by golly, I was, too, because I wasn't in there 2 days and I let 10 of my best friends out of jail. That's doing good.
Man does good like that ought to get himself a medal.
Yeah.
Shame Mayor Lundy's fixing to dirty up such a fine reputation.
Mayor Lundy, what's that, Jason?
I just can't sit still for a thing like that. I tell you what, Your Honor, why don't you sell me your office and get out before he does it to you? I'll give you $100 for it. That's 1,000% profit.
Well, Mayor Lundy can't do that to me. He needs me. I make some mighty tricky decisions for him. Why, I even had a couple of fellas hung for him once.
I know it's hard for an honorable man like you to swallow, but Lundy's fixing to dump you just before the election.
No.
He's got to. The governor got a hold of a copy of Jeff Rose's paper.
Well, I'm not going to take the blame for this all by myself. He's just as guilty as I am.
That's what he's fixing to do. He's going to have a real house cleaning. Clean up this town. Show the folks that he's just an honorable, upright man taken in by a couple of crooks like you and Sheriff Barnes.
Barnes? Why, Lundy hired a gunny to kill him.
Well, I guess he was a mite more fond of you.
Excuse me.
You're boiled, Amos. Get out.
You try it, Nard. We're in this thing together. You're not going to dump me.
Amos, what in the world are you screaming about? Nobody's going to dump you. No. Still, it might be kind of a good idea if you started thinking about retiring. You know, you could go out to California and take it easy.
Well, you're not going to edge me out. I got all of my records hid away. And if I go down, I'm going to drag you with me.
You hit him like a blast of buckshot. Old Judge Pope is ori-eyed and hunting for grass.
It's only 3 days before election. Lundy doesn't even seem disturbed.
Well, there's one thing you can figure. He ain't dumb.
Yeah, he ought to be feeling the burr under his blanket any time now.
I'm a little concerned about Judge Polk and Sheriff Barnes. They're behaving in a most peculiar manner. I'm afraid somebody or something has gotten to them.
The judge is running real scared about something, that's a fact.
Yeah, I figured the sheriff was just a little edgy about that old gunny, tailing him night and day.
Well, why don't you tail him, Steele? I want to know everyone he talks to and everywhere he goes. And Tucker, cover the judge the same way, eh?
Sheriff Mayor Lundy ordered me to follow you, and
Figured the old man couldn't get me. Hired you to do the killing, huh?
Now wait just 1 minute.
I wait any longer, I'll be dead.
2 deputies down and 2 to go.
I've been keeping an eye on His Honor.
And I've been keeping an eye on you, mister.
Well, both of you can just get. My orders to trail the judge come right from the mayor himself.
Lundy put you on me.
That's funny. The mayor gave me the same job. You know, this is a mighty confusing town. You can't tell who's out to get who.
Lundy wouldn't hire an old hammerhead like you. Not when he's got us.
Gentlemen, maybe I can outshoot you. I got $100 hard dollars that says I can. Now, you want to ante up or pass the buck?
I ain't got 100.
Me neither, but I'd sure like to get yours, mister.
Well, just throw yourselves in the pot. I'll put up the 100, and if you lose, you both can just get out of town.
Good. Let me at that 100.
Now, hold on. What's the contest?
Wing shooting for distance and accuracy in the dark.
Wing shooting?
Yeah. For what? See that flock of geese coming over? I'm going to get that bull goose. You boys just picture yourselves going out of the flock. I guess you boys got what they call a touch of night blindness. Maybe we ought to try something easier, like free cushion or ricochet shooting. Yeah, we'll try that. Come on with me. Now, you see that light in Texas saloon over there? I'm going to shoot through the door, shoot that light up. That bullet's going to bounce against that pot-bellied stove, ricochet across the street, hit that anvil in front of the blacksmith shop, ricochet across the street again, hit that cowbell over that store, come back towards me, and I'm going to catch that lead slug with my teeth.
Ain't a man alive that good.
You know, I was a mite bit off on that shot. If I hadn't caught that bullet with my teeth, it might have passed by me and hit one of you boys right between the eyes. Now, you want to try your hands, or you just want to get on your horses and ride?
We'll be riding.
You boys ought to find good work back east. Of course, there ain't no cause for any real shooting.
It ain't safe here no more. All my deputies are either dead or they left town. I ain't got no backup.
You shot one of them yourself.
Well, I figured somebody said that...
You figured. Somebody said. What is the matter with you, Clyde, anyway? You just falling apart or something, Clyde? You falling apart? Is this job gotten to be too big for you? Or maybe you just soon not be part of my new administration after I get reelected.
My price has come down, Your Honor. It's $50 now.
Well, I'll take it. It'll pay the stage fare to Mexico. For good and valuable consideration, here paid over, I do hereby hand you the right and title, honor, and elements of my office. And what the Almighty has joined up, let no man monkey with.
Right on schedule. 2 days before election.
But Lundy's still here.
I reckon it's time to pay him a little visit.
Gentlemen, come in. We're a little crowded in here, but I'm sure we can squeeze you in. What's your pleasure?
We're here to see you out of town.
Oh, dear, I thought we'd settled all that foolishness.
You're through, Lundy. The judge and the sheriff just took off on the last stage.
Oh? Well, small loss. Matter of fact, it'll allow me to dispense some patronage after I'm elected, eh? New blood. Matter of fact, I must thank you for helping me to clean house.
Why, without your tin-horn judge and your gun-happy sheriff, people will begin to get the feel of what it's like to be free.
Yeah, maybe the people will vote you out.
I believe the people will vote the way I recommend.
You can't scare them into voting for you. Your gunmen have left town. You just ain't got no protection.
That is where you're wrong. You know, I was puzzled at first, but then it suddenly occurred to me what you gentlemen were up to. So, I imported an entirely new staff of associates. Now I believe I must ask you to get out of town. Now, by high noon.
It's a bluff.
Gentlemen, allow me to introduce you. These men happen to be the deadliest guns in the West today. Big Red Connors, Little Billy Ford, the Barton brothers, Frank Mace, Leif Jordan.
Papa, you have got to give up. It's no use.
Only we almost had Lundy whipped. This time we'll do it.
Please, Papa. He said be out of town by high noon. It's almost that time now.
Things are a lot worse than they were when we started, Captain.
Jeff, we can't back down now. We won the support and the respect of all the townspeople. And they're ready to vote for you.
You really believe your handful of old rangers can make a stand against that gang of lawless cutthroats?
My men are setting up our first line of defense now. This town will long remember the gunfight at Cassie's Corral.
Sun's about dead center.
Be careful of that mirror, boys. I had it shipped all the way from New York in the good old days.
Don't you worry, Miss Cassie. If we bust it, we'll get you a bigger and better one from that fancy mail order house called Monkey Ward's. And that workhouse. I'll give you some of that flour.
Miss Blair, we certainly appreciate your help in the use of your establishment. I'm only afraid it's going to suffer considerably.
Can't suffer anymore, and it's already been suffering it.
Well, I think you better be on your way over to the general store.
Good luck, Captain.
Thank you.
High noon.
They've had their chance. Now let's run them out. They're holed up in there. Apparently they didn't take my warning seriously, huh? I didn't think they'd be foolish enough to fight. Well, this won't take long. 2 or 3 of you break in there, tell them to get on their horses and ride.
We're in this room. Scatter.
Hit you? No, just got me between drawers.
Get down the street. Flush him out. All right, ram it.
Sounds like they got an army. Let's get out of here. They're heading for the Eldorado.
Stay out of here now. I don't want my place shot up.
Too bad. You got the best hole up in town. Now get in there. Scatter! Scatter!
I'll keep the bucket and get them from above. You slow up down here.
Freezer, let you have it. Here's another.
I guess we got it. There goes that tin horn that hired us without pay. But let us get our horses. Maybe we can catch him before he gets too far.
No warrants for you here. You can go. But we don't want you back.
Don't worry. Robbing banks and jumping claims is fast or easy and it pays a whole lot better.
Thanks to the courage of Captain Hayes and his valiant Texas Rangers, this town can now look forward to the start of a new era. As your duly elected mayor, I promise a new day that will last a long, long time. Honest lawmen, true justice in our court. We may never be a big town, but we'll be peaceable, quiet, and happy, raising our children in an atmosphere free of gambling, vice, and corruption. And to completely erase our soiled and tarnished past, we'll even change the names on a lot of things.
Well, I reckon it's time for us to be riding.
You want me to help you up on that horse, you old droop horn?
Any of you fellas come up wanted for hanging, I'll be glad to try your case. I'm a $50 judge now, you know.
I'm proud of you, boys. Best outfit a man ever headed up.
That goes for me, too. I hope you all come back real soon. Next time I'll do my spider dance for you.
I sure would like to be here, Miss Cassie, that next time. Captain, you can lead us. If it ain't too long, that is. Attention! Well, this is where I take the South Fork for Abilene.
If I head east, I'll be in that territory of Oklahoma.
I reckon if I split the difference between you, I ought to come out somewhere near Kansas City.
Say, you know them two young fellas I said I've been training down in Texas?
Yeah.
They're only 7 and 8 years old. They're my grandsons.
What will you train them for? To be house broke?
Well, I reckon there's a few things I can still teach them, like not making some of the fool mistakes I done.
That's always the way it is. When a man starts handing out good advice, he ain't up to set no more bad examples.
Well, now I ain't here to you winning no big battles in Oklahoma.
Well, I started a bunch of them. Nearly every saloon down there, but I just wasn't there at the finish. You know, Sergeant, it must be nice to have your own home and your family and watch your grandkids grow up.
I sort of got a family in Kansas City. These old-timers in this old folks' home.
We could put you up in Abilene, George. We got many places for you to bed down. That is, if...
No, thank you, Sergeant. I'll just go back to Oklahoma and find myself a new saloon. You know something? Since I've been up here, I've got my old knack back with the cards again. I just might get myself a lucky streak of going down there.
I reckon I got enough to tell the folks back home to last out the rest of my time.
You know, I've been accused of telling tall tales before, but just wait till you hear this one.
Well, I guess we better be riding out. So long. Good luck, fellas.
Well, so long, Rangers. We'll get together again. Real soon.
So long.
So long.
Sporty game for sporty people. A lucky game for lucky people. Every winner goes to dinner. No pleasure, sir.
Hit me.
Did I hurt you, cousin?
Don't call me cousin. That's a 10 straight hand you won.
Well, that's got to stand out as my record in this town because I've got to leave.
Maybe you gotta go, cousin. But that money ain't going nowhere.
I don't get it, mister.
Nobody beats me 10 straight hands less than he's cheating.
I wasn't cheating.
What do you say we get out of here, partner?
He said I was cheating.
Trouble is, you got a difference of opinion here. And that ain't worth having no shooting over, now is it?
He called me a cheater.
Oh, well. Well, now, sir, might you just entertain the notion of maybe telling my friend he ain't no cheater?
No.
I'm afraid I just can't help you, Wyatt.
Your name, Wyatt?
That could be a possibility.
I could drug in you. You kill me.
Then that would make it 11 straight times I'd beat you, fair and square.
Think maybe you can entertain that notion now?
Yeah, I don't think you're cheating.
Thanks a lot. Let's go, Wyatt.
All right, Virgil.
Wyatt.
Yeah.
Your draw really as fast as they say?
You want to see it? Just a demonstration. Want to see it again?
Madge Crawford, if you ain't a sight for sore eyes.
Yeah, well, too many more of them kind of card games, and that's the only thing that's going to be sore.
Oh, Sergeant, I just got my knack back with the cards again. That fella in there couldn't prove I cheated him. But I'm sure glad to see you anyway. You got the dangest habit of showing up at the bestest time.
Well, I didn't track you down just to get you out of a gambling mess.
No?
You remember the Baltimore Kid?
The Baltimore Kid? Sure, I remember when he first come to Texas. He was dressed to kill and ready for action. Couldn't ride or row, but he sure handled a six-shooter good. A little better than you did.
Yeah, well, I got this telegram yesterday.
Huh?
The Baltimore Kid being held in Waco jail on murder charge. Town in ugly mood. Kid needs help to assure he gets fair trial. Better come at once. Signed, a friend.
Kid in jail for murder? Ah, that don't sound possible.
I know it's got to be a big mistake, George, but men have been hanged before by mistake. We got to get to Waco and see that the kid gets a fair trial.
Yeah, it does say the town's in an ugly mood, don't it?
Yeah, and that might call for one more ranger. Say, we can swing by that old folks' home and pick up Jason, huh?
Oh, come on, Nash. Let's face it, even if we do pick up Jason, it's just the three of us. Of course, we're all rangers, but we're so far over that hill, I can't even remember seeing the hump.
You scared, George?
No, I ain't scared. I'm just cagey. Maybe you're forgetting the last time we all got together.
All right, granted. I was wrong to face that man head on. But I learned, we all learned to use our wits. We cleaned up that town, remember?
We did with a heap of luck, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm willing to risk my luck again, especially when it comes to helping a former ranger.
You got me that time, Sergeant. Yeah, Brazos! Nash, you a cagey old coot, coming in that saloon and calling me Wyatt. Suppose that fella hadn't went for it. Or why didn't you just call me Herb?
Come to think of it, that would have been a whole lot more fitting. Let's ride.
Be any man whomsoever who knows why this couple should not be joined in holy matrimony, let him speak now or forever hold his peace. Do you, Jason Fitch, take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife, to love and cherish from this day forward?
Sure. I mean, I do.
And do you, Louise Murphy, take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband, to love, honor, and obey?
I do.
Will you please place the ring on her finger?
Ring? Oh, yeah, the ring.
Place the ring on her finger, please. No, Mr. Fitch.
Now do you understand, Reverend, why I insisted on a rehearsal?
I certainly do.
Well, that's what's got me so nervous, all this rehearsing.
No, Jason.
But it's true. If you're going to tie a horse up to a rail, you don't lead him in first to see if the wood's strong enough to hold him. Why don't we just do it now and get it over with?
I told you, dear. My mother was married on the 15th, and it's always been my wish. Now, that's tomorrow. Surely you can wait one more day?
Well, at my age, that ain't a cinch bet.
Besides, Jason, we're going to have our stag party tonight.
Yeah. Are we through rehearsing, Parson?
I'm Louise.
Oh, yeah.
I think we've rehearsed sufficiently.
Good. Then all you stags out on the front porch. You ladies keep that way by staying away from our wild doings.
Reckon it's time for refreshment?
Reckon so.
Three-month-old corn.
That aged, huh? Ah, you can sure tell the stuff they take their time with.
When you figure we should start the entertainment?
Well, how about now? Whiskey and women, they go with this sort of thing.
Well, here it is. Direct from France, Europe. And that thing she's wearing is called a negligee.
You don't say. Feels kind of worn.
Well, that's because it's been handed down through the family. We're all bachelors.
Who's coming?
Don't know 'em, but one of 'em's riding a mule.
A mule?
Hey, Jason!
George, that you?
Yeah, and I got Sergeant Nash here with me.
Hello, Jason.
Well, I'll be. You come from a wedding, didn't you?
Well, I don't know about that, Jason. We got a message for you. Brazos!
Brazos!
I'm trying to understand, Jason, dear. I truly am.
I know it's going to be hard for you, Louise. But once a ranger, always a ranger. And when I heard that word, Brazos...
And that I don't understand. Brazos, what does it mean?
Well, it's a sort of a code word. It means ranger in trouble. It means drop whatever you're doing, no matter how important, and come a-running.
I see. And whatever you happen to be doing was marrying me.
Louise, we ain't got much time. I have to go. Man's got to do what he's got to do before he settles down to a life of luxury.
Luxury?
I figure marrying a pretty little thing like you make me the richest man on earth.
Oh, Jason.
Time's a-wasting, my love. Do you promise to wait for me?
Of course, but you go on now, before the tears start. And be careful, my love. Don't be careful!
Don't worry, my dear, I will be.
Careful, please!
All you Texas Rangers, wherever you may be, I'll tell you of some trouble that happened once to me. Our captain, he informed us one dark and stormy night, before you reach the river, boys, you'll have yourself a fight.
So this is Waco, huh?
Are we there?
Let's stable our horses, then we can look for the jail.
long?
That all depends. We hear there's going to be a big trial here in Waco.
Trial? Trial? What trial?
The Baltimore Kid.
Oh, him.
Yeah, him. What time's the trial set for?
Well, it was to come up Friday next.
Was?
There's no need to hold it now. They took the kid out and lynched him the night before last. I'm afraid you boys missed the fun.
What happened?
Well, a bunch of drovers broke into the jail, dragged the kid out, and they hung him right from the loft here. Oh, it sure drew a big crowd. Yes, near the whole town looked on.
It did, huh? And nobody tried to stop it?
Stop it? Oh, no, sir. Not after what he done.
Just what had he done, fella?
The kid and his gang held up the Fargo office here and took over $10,000.
The kid never rode with a gang.
No.
And he didn't take money that wasn't his, neither.
He did a heap sight more than just hold up the Fargo station here. He killed the town marshal and his deputy and the ramrod of a trail herd that was here in town. It was the drovers from that herd that took him out and lynched him.
Without a trial?
Well, once the facts was known, who needed a trial?
Why don't you just give us some more of those facts, Shorty?
Yeah, we want to know exactly what happened here to our friend the kid.
Your friend, you're all friends of the kid?
Anything wrong with that?
No. I just remembered that I have a mountain of work to do inside. If you're looking for more information, just go down there to the newspaper office. The man will tell you down there.
All right, come on.
What can I do for you? Well, howdy, man.
Judge Amos Polk, ain't it?
Ex-judge. Thanks to your efforts.
What the devil are you doing here?
Devil's own bidding, I'll wager.
Well, I've gone straight. I'll have you know that this newspaper business is a legitimate enterprise.
Well, it better be, because we come to get some facts.
Yeah, I know about the Baltimore Kid.
How'd you know that's what we come for?
Because I'm the one that sent for you to come.
You?
Yeah. Well, after the kid and his gang killed the marshal and the others and the rest of them run off, somebody got in a lucky shot and dropped the kid with a scalp wound. I was the first one to reach him, so I took his wallet.
That's like you.
Just to identify him, that's all. Oh, anyway, they took him to jail still unconscious. Matter of fact, he was unconscious right to the end. He never did come to.
Yeah, well, that still don't explain why you sent for us.
Well, it's all right here. Here's the kid's wallet, his badge, newspaper clippings about the old days. And here's this note. In the event of my death, my last wish is to be buried as a Texas Ranger with some of my former comrades in attendance. Please get in touch with Nash Crawford. He'll know what to do. And your address is right there, and when I saw how ugly the town folks was getting, I sent the wire for you.
Well, I apologize for thinking ill of you, Amos. You done your best.
If we'd got here sooner.
Here they'd have had to fight to take him.
Yeah, well, what's done is done. At least we here to see if the kid's last wish is granted. I reckon the body's over at the funeral parlor, ain't it?
Well, not exactly. You better come with me.
Lynched for his murderous ways.
Baltimore Kid.
That's a lie.
Of course it's a lie. I can recall 100 brave deeds that man done.
He was a real gentleman.
And a gravestone big enough to record half the good things the kid done.
I wish I'd have known him.
Now here he lies in Boot Hill with a marker like that.
I don't know how the rest of you feel, but I could stand a good, stiff drink of whiskey about now.
Mind the time the 4-horse rode down to Pecos after them Injuns?
Here, and the kid was right out there in front like always.
Another night. Jason.
Feels kind of empty. I'll go get another one.
Jason. The bar's over this direction. Yeah, I'll point you. It's due north.
Oh, thank you, George.
What'll it be?
Another bottle.
Another bottle. Those are beautiful words, my friend.
Yeah.
Down there at the Baker Street.
Yeah. Where's the body?
I forgot it. You know, grief can do a terrible thing to a man. I swear I just saw the kid standing at the bar.
That drunk had a beard on. He'd swear it's Abraham Lincoln. I'll get the bottle. Jason. Grief can play tricks on a man. Swear that drunk at the end of the bar looks just like the Baltimore kid to me, too.
Where's another round of drinks?
Never mind more drinks, you dang fools. Grief ain't playing no tricks. That there is the Baltimore kid. Easy now, kid, easy.
That's right. Easy does it.
Yeah.
Is this the place where they're going to give us free drinks?
It sure is. Amos, how about that coffee?
Coming right up. Coffee? Who said anything about coffee?
Now, don't you worry, kid. It'll do you a lot of good.
Coffee never did anybody any good. You promised me some liquor.
We said drinks now. We didn't say what kind. Look, kid, we gotta get you in shape.
Kid?
Yeah.
How come you call me Kid?
That's your name, ain't it?
Yeah, nobody here in town knows of it except one little lady, girl.
We know it. Because we know you. Now, look here. Don't you know us?
Maybe we swapped out at some saloons together or something, maybe?
We was all together, but far from swamping out saloons. Think back about 20 years.
20 years? I can't think back 1 year, much less 20 years.
Don't you remember being a ranger?
How do you know I was a ranger?
Because we was rangers right alongside you.
Yeah?
Don't you know him? That's Sergeant Nash Crawford.
Nash? Remember me? Jason Fitch?
Oh, come on. I'm Gentleman George. What's a fact, kid? We're all back here together again. For heaven's sakes.
It is a fax. Or else I'm drunker than I ever been. Still feel kind of shaky.
Yeah, well, give me that.
He's shaping up real good. I'll go get you some more hot water.
Hold that. I'm sorry you fellas had to find me in this kind of shape.
Well, I'm just glad we did find you.
It's a long time since I left that gun shop in Baltimore to go west.
I remember we couldn't figure out how come you knew so much about guns. You should have showed us all them medals.
Wow. I used to be able to hit the head of a nail at about 50 feet. Now I'd shoot my foot off.
What happened, kid, after we all broke up?
Oh, I marshaled for about 10 years.
Oh, yeah, we all done some of that.
It was easy getting those jobs with my reputation, you know. And then when that started to fade, so did I. Pride, I guess. I started hitting the bottle. And not like most drunks, to forget the past. I tried to forget the present.
Don't worry, kid. Jason went out to buy some new clothes, and when we get you all spruced up, nobody's going to recognize you. Then we'll go over to the mayor.
The mayor?
Oh, sure. He's the only one that can change the gravestone legal, you know.
Oh.
You don't want folks thinking the Baltimore Kid is buried there.
Oh, I sure don't. Listen, Nash, and you too, George. I want you to know how much I appreciate what you fellas are doing for me.
You do, huh? George? What do you think of this Yahoo?
I think he's getting downright sentimental. You want me to douse him?
No, you don't. Now, give me that.
Hey, you give me that. Spill it all over the place.
I'm glad nobody's going to be able to recognize me, because I sure couldn't recognize them.
Well, you look great, kid.
I remember how you looked back in the old days, kid. Just great, like right now.
Thanks, Jason. You fellas shouldn't have spent all this money. I don't need a gun.
Well, we wouldn't want you running around town with a six-shooter in your gun belt. You'd be half-naked. That's what you'd be.
It does feel kind of natural. I wonder if I could still use it.
Well, it don't matter. We just wear them for balance. I took mine off once and toppled over.
Well, you're just in time. Mayor's waiting for you over to my office.
Lead the way, kid.
Me?
Just like always.
Like always.
Come on. Your Honor, I want to present 4 of the finest Texas Rangers that ever served our fair state.
Well, I'll declare. Gentlemen, this is a pleasure. You know, I had no idea why Amos got me down here. But I want to tell you that I am always proud to meet any ex-Ranger at any time.
This is Gentleman George Agnew.
Mr. Agnew, how do you...
Jason Fitch.
Roger, sir.
Nash Crawford.
How do you do, sir?
And the Baltimore Kid.
Very happy. I beg your pardon?
The Baltimore Kid. At your service, sir.
Amos, this must be some kind of a joke.
Oh, it's no joke, Your Honor. This here is the genuine Baltimore Kid. That man that drove us lynched was an imposter.
Well, I find that difficult to believe. Amos, didn't you find his identification in that wallet?
Well, the faker had his wallet, but the fact is it weren't his.
No, sir. It was mine. I must have lost it.
Now, I can vouch for these 3 men, and if they swear that this is the real Baltimore Kid, then he is the real Baltimore Kid.
Oh, well, I'm not doubting it. I just find it... Well, I'm surprised, to say the least.
Well, a lot of folks are going to be surprised when they learn the truth.
That's how we want you to help us, Mayor. Authorize Amos here to print an official story. Then get rid of that lying gravestone up on Boot Hill.
Of course. By all means, of course. Well, so you're the Baltimore Kid.
Yes, sir, that's me.
I can't tell you how relieved I am. Personally, I mean. You know, you was always one of my big heroes, and when I heard you'd gone bad, well, it was a terrible blow.
It's mighty kind of you to say that, Mayor. I wish I could have stopped that rotten snake from using my name.
Yeah, well, I bet you would have, too, if you'd only been here.
Well, I wouldn't have exactly been standing around doing nothing.
We sure thank you, Mayor, for your cooperation.
Not at all, gentlemen, not at all. I thank you for restoring one of my heroes back up onto his pedestal.
Mr. Mayor.
Amos, we better get started on that story, huh?
Oh, right.
The Baltimore Kid. You know, for years, that was a name that brought a glow to every heart in Texas. And it will once again, after Amos prints that story. Say, you know, your turning up here like this could be a godsend to Waco.
A godsend?
Exactly. Waco is a mighty mean town. Why, we get the roughest, toughest trail herds in the West through here. It takes a mighty strong lawman to handle the problems here.
Kid, I think the stableman's got a horse.
Hold on, Nash. I don't think the mayor's quite finished.
No, sir. Indeed, I have not. You know, we can't go out and hire just any man for marshal. No, sir. We've got to have a name that those drifters and gunmen respect. Why, half the success of this job is respect.
Don't the one you gotta have respect?
Oh, lots of respect. For a dead man. He was one of the 3 got killed in that robbery.
Oh, Mayor, that's very interesting, but
Yeah, we got to be moving on.
Just a minute, please, gentlemen.
At ease, men. We must show the mayor a little respect. I like that word, respect.
Well, if anybody's got respect, it's the Baltimore Kid. And I mean the real Baltimore Kid.
Now, looky here, Mayor.
Sergeant, now, the mayor has been kind enough to hear us out and cooperate, right?
But if he's getting at what I think he's getting at...
Sergeant, I believe I was next in command to Captain Hayes.
Yes, sir.
What was that you were saying, sir?
That Waco needs law and order. And it takes a man of great stature to fill the job. And I know of no man who's ever lived who has greater stature than the Baltimore Kid.
1, 2, 3. It's back. I guess that does it.
24 hours, $1 apiece. I thank you, sir.
Well, Sarge, I guess we're free to go.
Are we?
Yeah, we don't owe anybody in this town.
You sure about that, George? What about the kid? Don't we owe him? Don't forget, in a lot of ways, we're responsible for his reputation.
Reckon.
Now, let's be reasonable, Nash. We came here, we helped the kid get back his name, but we got personal business to attend to. Me, I gotta get married. And that's as personal as you can get.
Yeah, and I got a red-hot poker game I'm raring to set in on down in Del Rio, Texas.
Sure. We all got our own lives. But did you ever think why? I'm alive because the Baltimore Kid one time charged a pack of Comancheros and sprung me from a certain trap.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I wouldn't be around today if it hadn't been for the kid backing my play down in Austin. You looking down the business end of 2 6-shooters, alone.
Yeah, I got lost one time out in the Badlands. No food, no water. The captain stopped sending out search parties for me. But the kid didn't give up. He showed up with a canteen and a sack full of beef jerky. Tasted like Delmonico steaks.
Yeah, all right then. You say we're paid up in this town, but are we? The kid went and took out that badge as town marshal.
Well, it's like the mayor said. Reputation is half the job, and the kid's got a reputation.
Yeah, half the job, George. Half! That means 5 out of 10 will back down if he faces them. But what about the other half? Let's face it. We got a one-day reformed drunk wearing new clothes. Now, are them fancy clothes going to help him with some bucko who never heard of the Baltimore Kid?
I reckon not, Sergeant.
And how do we know he's given up the booze for good?
Well, the hard fact is, I got to talk to the mayor. Tell him to send for somebody else.
And until that somebody gets here, the kid will have to fill in.
All right, we'll fill in with him. There's deputies.
Whatever you say, you're the boss, fella.
But it ain't going to be forever. But if we stick with him through this, he could just get his confidence back.
Hey, he could get himself killed, too.
Yeah. Don't think about it. What chance has he got? Or what chance we got, for that matter?
All right, a slim chance, I'll grant you that. The kid's puffed up right now, and that could be dangerous. We'll have to do our job. That is, meaning his, without letting him know.
Well, I come over to say goodbye. First edition's all printed and will be out in 2 hours.
Well, Amos, you can add a few lines to that story.
Yeah.
Oh?
Yeah. Print that the new marshal will have 3 ex-rangers as his deputies.
Yeah.
You mean the 3 of you are staying?
Yeah, we'll explain it to you later.
Right now, we gotta find the kid and tell him.
Well, that shouldn't be hard to do. He's celebrating his new job.
Where?
Over at the saloon.
What? Hey, kid.
Excuse me. Well, welcome. I want you to meet a very dear friend of mine.
Never mind the dear friends. What about the old ones? What about your promise to us?
Promise?
Yeah, that you wasn't gonna drink no more.
I'm not drinking. I was just chatting with my lady friend.
Maybe we did jump at conclusions.
I'm afraid you did, Sergeant. You must realize that it's my duty as marshal to check up on the various saloons in town.
Maybe I could go along with you.
I thought you were all leaving.
Well, the truth is, kid, we wondered if you'd do us a favor.
Why, any time, Nash. Anything. You just name it.
Well, we'd kind of like to stay on a while and, you know, get that old feeling back again.
Yeah, sort of bask in your reflected glory.
Be your deputies.
Deputies?
Of course. You'd just be doing us a favor. We wouldn't be much real help. You'd sort of have to carry us, you know.
Say no more, Nash. It's done. As of now, you are my official town deputies. I'll swear you in myself. And be sure you put that in the paper, Amos. Forget. All right, you better get at it, huh?
Oh, right away.
Oh, I'd like you to meet Miss Katie Whalen. Katie was the only one who took an interest in me when I was working here as a swamper. I've had a hard time convincing her that I'm that same fellow.
Oh? That was mighty nice of you, miss.
Oh, the kid always was sweet and kind, even when he was drunk.
Well, those days are past. Now, men, shall we retire to my new office and get organized?
That's not a bad idea.
Good. Until later, dear Katie.
Goodbye. Nice meeting you.
So long.
Mighty fine little office. Ah, they've got rooms for us upstairs and everything. Oh, not a bad-looking set of hardware. I think I'll check it out. Here, Jason.
What is it? Here, Marshal. Next time, just hand Jason things. Out in the broad daylight, if possible.
Sorry, Jason.
That's all right. Which brings us to a point we better discuss, kid. Now, we're none of us as fast as we used to be. It might help if we sort of planned a little strategy.
What do you mean, strategy?
Mm-hmm. Just in case of trouble.
I only know one way to face trouble. Head on.
Well, that's maybe all right for a young buck, but with an old elk, you stay alive a lot longer using his brains instead of his antlers.
Well, there she is. Front page news.
Well, that's nice, Amos. Very nice.
And I mentioned you 3, too.
Yeah, that makes me feel a whole lot better. Kid, we got business to talk about.
Later, Nash, later. I want to read this.
I passed them out all over town. You ought to heard the folks buzz.
That don't sound like no buzz to me.
That's 3 of the Bar X outfit letting off steam.
Is there a law against shooting off guns in town?
Well, if there ain't, there ought to be.
That's right. It's pretty certain that those three fellows are breaking the law. You all stay here. I can handle this myself.
I'll go with you, kid.
No, I said I could handle it by myself.
Why don't we all go? I just want to give him a little first-hand practice.
Well, all right, on one condition. Take off your gun belt and leave it here.
What?
If there should be trouble, which I doubt, at least they won't shoot an unarmed man. I don't want to be responsible for you, Nash.
Well, that's mighty thoughtful of you.
We'll have to do it my way or not at all.
All right, kid. Lead the way.
You there. That's enough of that. You holster those guns now.
That old dude talking to us. Come on.
You better get out of the street, Grandpa. You liable to get trampled.
You see this badge?
I'll be doggone. You must be part of a Wild West show.
I'm the marshal of this town, and I'm ordering you to holster those guns and stop disturbing the peace.
Oh, you're ordering?
That's right. And before you start arguing, it might be a good idea for you to find out just who you're facing.
Well, do tell. Who might that be?
Some call me the Baltimore Kid. Now, you've been warned.
Have we been warned?
Now, wait just a minute. Let me say one thing, young fellas. A long time ago, I learned it sometimes helps to glance up toward heaven before you get into gunplay.
Hey, what is this? One an old-time marshal, the other an old-time preacher?
Heed my words now. Just one glance up, it can make a big difference.
Well, I'll tell you, old man, if I was going to glance up, it'd be just to say a little prayer for you two old...
Yes, sir. Little reflection helps, don't it? Especially when you think about the fact it's the Baltimore Kid you'd have to outshoot here.
They've had the chance, Nash. All right, fellas, what's your play? That's better. Now, go ahead, have a drink if you want. But just keep things quiet.
Y'all finished them cowboys already?
You didn't even watch?
Heck, kid. We seen you in action so many times, it's kind of getting to be old hat.
They backed down when they thought about who I was, right, Nash?
Yeah, that's right, kid.
Old Nash tried to use religion on them. But in the long run, it's like I said. When there's trouble, you have to meet it head on.
Yeah, there's no denying that now, kid. If there's trouble, we gotta meet it head on.
Kid. Mayor, out making your rounds, you see? Yeah, I like to make sure things are quiet.
I'm surprised to see you by yourself. Where's all your deputies?
Oh, I guess they're taking an afternoon nap. This job is kind of a strainer on them, understand?
Yes, of course, huh?
Of course, there's no need. Excuse me, Your Honor. Pardon me, friend, but just what do you think you're doing?
Have me some target practice, that's what I'm doing. I want you out of the way there.
I'm sorry, I can't let you do that here. Now, if you take a ride outside the city limits, you can practice all you want.
You telling me I gotta leave town?
That's what I'm telling you.
Well, now, let me tell you where you can go. You can go
recognize me, huh? That's right, friend. I'm the Baltimore Kid. And I'm telling you to holster that gun.
Yes, sir.
And then I want you to pay the man for the lanterns you broke.
Yes, sir.
You hear the man. Get.
Deputy?
Yes, sir, Marshal. Frenchie, I know how much collateral is here, so don't get sticky fingers. Yes, sir, Marshal?
Hardly expected to find you here, George.
Well, I was just sitting in there to be sure that was an honest game.
And is it?
It must be. I won the last 5 straight hands. Why don't you come over and have a hand?
If you say it's honest, I believe you, George.
You do? Well, I'll just go out there and check it in again, Marshal. Excuse me.
What'll it be, Marshal? Milk, please. Cow's milk? Have you got any other kind? No, sir. Then that'll just have to do, won't it? Yes, sir.
Well, how's it going, kid?
Fine, Miss Katie. Just
Good.
I hate to say it, but you're looking kind of pale.
Oh, well, we've been very busy.
You've been working too hard. Indoors all the time, too. Now, why don't I come around late this afternoon and take you out for a drive?
A drive?
I want to get acquainted with the countryside.
Well...
Your company would be a pleasure.
Well, all right. Why don't you pick me up a little after 4?
I'll do that.
Good. I'll see you then.
How are you, Nash?
Amos?
You're looking pretty grim.
Well, I've just been worried lately about keeping up this sham. I ain't sure it's fair to the kid nor to the town either.
Well, did you talk to the mayor about it?
Yeah, just now. He's going to send for a big-name marshal to take over. Trouble is, it'll be at least a week or more before he gets here. So I reckon we'll have to hang on a while longer.
I think it's wonderful the job you all been doing with the kid so far.
Well, it ain't so wonderful. The kid's deserving. All we're trying to do is give him some confidence again.
Well, now, when a man starts to squire a girl and she's not half his age, looks to me, Nash, like you gave the kid all the confidence a man will need.
Welcome to Waco, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I'm the town marshal here.
Yeah, this here is the Baltimore Kid.
Now, I want you to stay here to be nice and pleasant. Just as long as nobody breaks the rules, I'll do my job to keep it as pleasant as possible. Feel free to call on me any time, any hour.
We'd better call on you in the next 5 minutes, because that's as long as we're going to be here.
Oh, then I'm interfering with your refreshment time. Well, go ahead and enjoy yourselves, folks, and do come back and visit us again sometime as soon as possible. Madam, may I show you the way?
special stage breeder too, Amos?
A fella just got off the stage.
Fellas usually do.
But this fella I think I've seen before. I think he's one of the gang that robbed the Fargo office.
What?
Well, I got a good look at his face during the gunfight out here in the street, and I'm almost sure it's the very same man.
But where is he now?
He went into the saloon.
Show me.
They're at the end of the bar.
Uh-huh. Well, now, that's mighty interesting.
Well, you gonna arrest him?
I don't know. If he stays around town, I'll at least question him. You go on back to work, Amos. I'm going on in there and keep an eye on him.
You were a fool to come here. You shouldn't take a risk like this.
Lady, I took a whole lot bigger risk than this to get that $10,000 out of the Fargo office, and I won it.
What makes you think it's here in town?
None of us have it. And the paper says that it wasn't on that kid or whoever he was when they shot him.
Well, what do you mean, whoever he was? You knew him, didn't you?
Knew him? Listen. Now, me and my boys, we're minding our own business down by the border. And we pull a few jobs, you know. We run a few cattle, but nothing big. And this Yahoo, he shows up in our camp, claims to be the famous Baltimore kid. Why, he even got his old Ranger badge, a few clippings to prove it. So we believe him. Well, then he tells us about this Fargo job, and everybody voted to go along with him.
Just because he said he was the Baltimore kid?
Lady, you know, most of the men that ride for me, they shoot good, but they don't think so good. You tell them that a famous man has a plan for a job, they figure it just got to be good if he thought it up. So they voted to throw in with him, and I agreed.
All right, well, you made a mistake. But you are making a bigger one by showing up now.
I don't think so. I'm just a passenger on a through stage, and besides, I figured maybe you could tell me about that money.
Me? Why me?
Well, now, once we agreed to throw in with that fake Baltimore kid, he told us to meet him here in Waco.
So?
Well, he said if there was any hitch in our plans, we could get in touch with him through you.
Well, yeah, but he had me fooled, too. I thought he was the Baltimore kid.
Did you?
Of course.
Well, maybe you did. Then again, maybe you didn't. Any rate, he had that money pouch on him when we left the Fargo office. And then we had that fight out in the street. You remember that? Now, I figure that during that fight, he could have slipped the money to you.
Oh, well, that's ridiculous. He was busy fighting for his life.
Well, what happened to him?
Well, I don't know. Everyone naturally assumed that one of you got away with it.
Well, not everyone. I mean, not the one that's really got it. But you may be right. It could have been anybody in that fight. The smoke was thick. There's a lot of confusion.
I remember.
Remember? Who was it reached that body first after we lit out?
Oh, it was the newspaper man, I think.
Yeah, well, what's his name?
Amos Polk.
Amos Polk. Well, then he could have grabbed the pouch and just slipped it in his office.
Yeah. Or like you say, it could have been anyone on the street during the fight.
Yeah. Well, appears that my stage about ready to pull out.
Well, look, I'm really sorry I couldn't help you. It seems you're out of luck.
No, it's this town the one's out of luck, because I can round up my boys by tomorrow, and then we're coming back here.
Oh, but that's very dangerous. Well, the real Baltimore kid is Marshall here now.
That joke? I saw him. Ain't no old man going to keep me from getting that money. See, we're going to tree this town, and then we're going to start with that newspaper man and anybody else who was in on that fight. So if I was you, I'd stay off the street tomorrow morning, because it ain't going to be safe. Well, One more for the dust. Huh?
Well, Nash, keeping out of the sun?
Hello, kid.
Come on, make the rounds with me.
Well, I don't know, kid.
Say, it's a nice town you got here.
We think so.
You planning on staying long?
No, I'm just passing through.
Let's come back and visit us sometime.
You can count on it.
You stage ought to be leaving any minute. You wouldn't want to miss it, would you?
Nice fellow.
Yeah, real nice.
Hang up, man. Up. Well, I guess I better make my rounds.
Well, maybe I'll walk a ways with you.
Yeah, come on.
Say, how are you and that little gal, Katie, getting along?
Nice, very nicely. She's a great company.
Uh-huh. And you said you remembered her being nice to you while she was still a drunk.
Yes, I remember her sitting and talking to me. She's a sweet child. She really is.
Yeah. Did you tell her much about yourself? I mean, about who you really was?
I really don't remember what we talked about. Why?
Oh? Just curious.
Come to think of it, I remember showing her some of my old clippings.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Them clippings that was in the wallet that you lost, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that means you must have lost that wallet after you got here in Waco.
You know something? That fellow that impersonated me must have found that wallet here, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, it's a thing of the past now. I don't suppose we ever will know that fellow's real name. Shall we check out a few saloons?
No, you go ahead, kid. All this fresh air's made me kind of drowsy.
Of course. Don't overdo it.
Oh, don't worry, I won't.
Waiting for you. Here she is, all sassy and ready to go.
Oh, perfect. I just wanted to ride out and take a few things to a sick friend.
Well, she'd get you there with the swiftness of the wind.
Oh, good. Oh, dear.
Is there something wrong?
Yes. There was a basket of food I wanted to take. I think I left it on the bar.
Would you like me to fetch it for you?
Oh, would you, Tom? That would be so kind of you.
I'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Thank you.
Well, now. You come up in the world, girl. That's a heap more valuable than lifting a man's wallet now, ain't it?
I just can't believe it.
Well, are you going to tell him the truth or shall I?
Kid, don't listen to him. It's all a pack of lies. You can believe me. You know you can believe me.
He can believe his eyes a whole lot better. Here's the money, kid. She had it all the time.
Kid, it's a mistake. It's all a mistake. Well, I've been your friend even before you were marshal.
Yeah, she was your friend when she found out you were the Baltimore Kid. Then she lifted your credentials so her boyfriend could use them to recruit a gang. She was just using you, kid, that's all.
All right, so I was using him. He was nothing but an old drunk anyway. But what about all of you?
You leave us out of this, Missy.
Oh, no, you're such great ones for the truth. Well, why don't you tell him the whole truth? You've all been covering up for him without his knowing it. Now, why would you do a thing like that? What's in it for you?
Yeah.
And how come you kept it from the kid? Everybody in town knows about it. Those cowboys came in the saloon and talked about how you had them all covered while the kid thought he was facing them down.
That's enough.
Oh, it ain't half enough, mister. 'Cause all the tricks in your bag ain't gonna help you when Sam Graham brings his gang into town tomorrow morning.
Graham?
It was his gang rode with the fake kid. And he is coming in tomorrow after that money. You old mossbacks don't stand a chance.
Did you hear that, kid? We better make plans to...
Have you seen the Baltimore Kid?
Well?
He ain't in there.
Well, he ain't been in the hotel barn either.
We never found him.
Well, we can't just let it go. We better recheck the same places again.
I'm gonna check that saloon at the hotel just one more time.
Yes, sir. Is it to myself you're speaking?
You in the habit of drinking private?
Oh, I wouldn't think of doing a thing like that. This isn't for me. The marshal sent me to fetch it.
Uh-huh. He over at your place?
Who's that?
Well, here, I'll take it to him. But go on and have a drink on me.
Well, lad, he's a fine, decent man you are. Much obliged.
Here. No. I figure I'll need a clear head when it come morning when the Brigham gang rides in. You know, you ain't the first man who's wrong about a woman, kid.
Is that all I was wrong about, Nash? A woman?
Well, we was...
No. I was wrong in thinking that a new suit and a fresh shave could take me back 20 years. There I was, promenading all over town, thinking I had my old magic back. Thinking everybody respected me again.
Well, the important thing is you respected yourself again, kid. It's all I can see you was lacking before was self-respect.
Sure. I owe a lot to you and the boys for that. And the price you put out for these duds.
Well, we just wanted to help you get on your feet, that's all.
They've been kicked out from under me again. Now I'm back where I belong. Nowhere.
Now, look, kid. I ain't one to lecture a smart man, and that's what I figure you are. A smart man. Too smart for this.
Sure, I'm smart. I'm smart, all right. I'm a smart saloon swamper. That's all I can handle now.
Well, there's a lot you can handle. Once you can face that one fact that keeps gnawing at you. You're past your prime. You can never be the man you once was. But that don't mean you can't be just as good a man in other ways.
Doing what? Delivering papers for Amos?
There's nothing wrong with delivering papers. Nothing wrong with any job so long as it's honest. You said it before, kid. You got too much pride. And I agree. What you gotta do is find a decent height. You try to stand too tall. You want everyone looking up at you. And if they don't, then you fall down in the gutter and let them look down on you. Now, there's a middle ground there, kid, and it's just about eye level, where you can look at the world straight in the face and without shame.
Right now, I just assume the world had a kind of a blurry look, Dash. If you don't mind.
Yeah, I mind. I mind plenty. But I can't spend the night sitting around here while you wallow in your self-pity.
Fine. Why don't you and the boys clear out of here? We're all finished anyway.
Well, maybe you are, but we ain't. There's a gang riding into town tomorrow for a shootout. And if we leave, there ain't nobody to stop them. Now, maybe that badge don't mean nothing to you. But I never knowed a ranger to take on a job and then quit when the going got tough.
Never?
Never. Till now.
want to leave this hole here, do you?
Strategy, Mayor, strategy. You'll see.
Sure, it's good strategy, providing them outlaws come in from the east of town.
I wager they will. They'll want the sun behind them and in our eyes.
It won't bother me none.
We take up our positions right here, do we?
George and me got a special job.
Jason and I have been sitting up all night long, thinking.
Hey, George, you take the stable man and his helpers and go fix that hay, will you?
All right, Sergeant. Hey, it's Mac. Come on.
Come on with you, George. Now, when they get back and take up their position, that's going to leave me and Amos and you behind the barricade.
I'm sorry I couldn't get more men, but there just ain't much civic pride around here anymore.
Oh, we got enough. I hope.
Right this way. Here, there's only this bit here where the marshal's resting.
Kid, we hate to disturb you, but we're gonna need them bales of hay.
Go ahead.
Here we are. I have a mountain of it out in back.
I've heard of newspaper editors being on a dangerous assignment, but this is downright ridiculous.
Oh, cheer up, Amos. Just think how you can write a first-hand account.
Yeah, I know, but...
Here they come. Graham! You and your boys better turn tail and run. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of bloodshed.
Now, that don't bother us none, old-timer. I reckon we got more blood to spare than you have. Let's take 'em, boys.
You mind your manners.
Welcome, kid.
Guess once you're a ranger, you don't stop. Not while you're perpendicular.
Troy. Watch which way you're shooting, Jason. Ceasefire! Looks like you men had enough. Escort these men to the jail, Mr. Mayor. Don't you worry, Mr. Crawford.
George, say something. Give me a clue. George? George, where are you, George?
Ooh. Oh, wait a minute, Amos. That ain't Hay. It's me.
Oh, there you are, George.
Well, kid, that was just like the... Kid! Kid!
Funny how many things can run through a man's head in one night. This morning a word turned up I haven't thought of for years. Brazos.
Dear friends, I thank you all for coming here today to pay tribute to the Baltimore Kid. He was our friend and our comrade in arms. There's a whole lot more I could say about him, but I reckon that marking on the gravestone says it all. Now, most of his life was doing good for others. And I'm mighty glad the dear Lord saw fit to lead the kid back to his rightful place before the end. That place was alongside of us, just like we're standing here alongside of him now. And in a way, you know, it's kind of fitting that of all of us, the kid was the first to go. He always did like to lead the way. Rangers, may he rest in peace.
Don't you worry about the kid's obituary. I'll write a good one.
You do that, Amos.
May your road be smooth.
Thank you.
How'd it go?
Splendid, kid. You should have been there.
I'm glad I wasn't, all things considered.
Nash did you real proud, kid. Almost made me cry.
Well, the important thing is the Baltimore Kid is dead and buried with the kind of respect he deserved. Now you don't have to worry about living up to the past reputation.
I suppose Nash is right, but I'm going to miss the kid a little bit.
Oh, he'll be remembered.
I hope so. Well, anyway, I'll be starting all over again with something I've been doing all my life.
Wait a minute. You ain't gonna start rangering again.
Oh, no. No, I'm going to open up a little gun shop. Somewhere up north, maybe California. I may not be able to handle them as well as I used to, but I can sure still fix them.
Yeah, and you'll do just fine, too. Well, Rangers, it's time we split up. But we'll all get together again. If maybe one of us gets in trouble and yells, Brazos.
Brazos!
much trouble can a man get into? I gotta go home and get married.
Hey, let's all go back to Jason's wedding and give him some moral support.
Yeah.
Brazos! Brazos! Yeah! Brazos!